What is up, Nintendo Land? Welcome to the Nintendo Open Air Podcast. After days of being trolled by everyone from Quaker Oats to GameStop to Nintendo of America themselves, we finally have a new Nintendo Direct. Well, sort of. Without word or warning, Nintendo silently released a Direct Mini earlier this morning. Was this the news we were hoping for, or was it just much ado about nothing? Stay tuned for our first ever Nintendo Open Air Podcast Mini. As always, let me start by introducing our mini panel tonight. We've got Mo and Z, and of course, I'm your host, Jason. We'll start tonight with the start of the Direct today. The world ends with you. I don't know about you guys, but nothing says a new year with unique gaming experiences quite like a reboot of a game from a decade ago.
Yeah, I had mentioned earlier, I thought that was the funniest thing. Because like in the first minute of the Direct, you hear the words like something about comes a game first released 10 years ago. I'm like, well, that's just enough to excite the people. Although it's a good pickup because I know that game's like a cult hit.
It really is.
And I've heard people wanting either a re-release or just a sequel to that game for years. But we also didn't mention just how awkward it was that the Direct came at all. I woke up and there was a Direct that had already happened.
I was actually awake and watching for the Nintendo to post something today, and then I started watching a video and that came back and it's like, oh, the Direct happened.
No live stream, nothing, just...
I didn't pay attention to when it was, but I'm a few time zones behind you guys. I was way, out of the loop on that one.
I think it was 6 a.m. Pacific that they dropped it.
Yeah, and I might have been up that early. I think I might have been up with the baby that early, but I had no idea.
Yeah, I just
middle of the day, noticed. I happened to, get enough of a breather from work to look at the news for a second. And I was like, oh, great.
It's just like, notifications.
I read through the list and I was like, meh.
Yeah, I think no matter what, they couldn't live up to whatever hype had been building for days.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we were all hoping for a bigger reveal than anything we got.
Or more talking, because they didn't really have, there was no on-air personality of any kind in this. There was no details on the online,
strictly business
or anything. Yeah, it was very much like the that other Direct that had come out where it was just rapid fire
headlines.
Headlines in and out.
And I mean, and as it was just a little mini blip Direct, and I guess it's the rumor mill that caused all the hype, but.
The hype, yeah.
But I guess I still right. I think we were all expecting we'd at least where's the third
traditionally
party?
In January,
Huh?
Nintendo kind of does a larger Direct where they kind of lay out some stuff for the year.
Yeah. But I mean, again, I was kind of surprised that after the heavy hitters that we saw coming before Christmas, I kind of figured we'd see more of that rolling on through 2018, and I'm not seeing it. Like Dark Souls, that's a big deal, but where's everything else? I guess
you mentioned Wolfenstein.
Okay, Wolfenstein, but that's old news.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's a few token, and don't get me wrong, they're big deals, they're big ports, but there's not that many of them. I mean, I think
ports were the name of the story today, for sure.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But I mean, AAA titles, we got a bunch of them rapid fire right before Christmas, and I guess I kind of maybe got my hopes up thinking, hey, the Switch is a real console. It's going to get all sorts of, I don't know. I was expecting more stuff that's come out on other consoles in the past few years to be announced, and it really wasn't.
Yeah. Well, they'll probably wait for E3 to do that stuff, I bet. I'm sure the GTAs and stuff are coming. I have no doubt.
We're kind of jumping ahead. I was going to kind of follow up at the end of this to kind of hit on that, but if you look through all of the release dates, there was nothing released beyond either labeled as spring or May 25th. So that's
Everything else, yeah.
It's setting us up right through E3.
I thought some of them said summer. I don't know.
There may be
The ones that were more vague. That was the thing, is the
Yeah.
hard release dates, and there's no more hard release dates after
Yeah.
like May.
We did have 2 that said summer. I was incorrect there. So, but still, still same kind of time frame.
But yeah, that's they're not gonna throw everything that they've got because they have to have something for E3.
Right.
So they'll save some stuff, but
But-
at the same point, last January, they gave us
The Switch.
like the entire year. Yeah, like this is all the stuff that's coming out this year, and then E3 they just kind of put that stuff under a microscope a little bit more.
I mean, we had things last year that that was announced in January that didn't actually come out till late in December.
Yeah, Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xenoblade. Was Xenoblade part of the January one? I don't remember if that was in there or not.
I'm not sure.
But Odyssey definitely was. It was shown in there. That was shown in the October one, in the Switch reveal. It just didn't have a name. But yeah, let's see what else. Well, what else did we get? So we got
the world ends with you. I'm actually pretty excited about that. I've thought about picking up the old version of it several times. I've looked at it at GameStop used, but I've just never took the plunge. So I'm a little excited about it.
Yeah, I think it's a cool, even if it's not what people were expecting. I think it's a cool one to bring back.
But I wonder how much of a recent thing this is, because it just says launches this year. It doesn't even have a release date of of any type. So who knows? The next on the list was a DLC for Pokken Tournament DX. Paid DLC.
Yeah.
And as you remember, just to reflect back, Kimishima did say, enjoy the games you've got, and we're going to put out DLC. So he delivered on his promise. Here it comes.
Yeah. And like I forget what the pricing, I think, because that's out now, I believe, right? The battle pack.
First wave is January 31st, and then March for the second part.
So it's I noticed it's on the eShop. There's a package now in the newly released for Pokken Tournament plus the battle pack or whatever it is. I had looked up just on one of those sites just the sales of Pokken Tournament, because I'm like, how big can this really be for Switch to be putting out DLC? And it sold about 500,000 copies, it looked like, worldwide.
Wow.
I think it's bigger in Japan than here, maybe, but I don't know that anybody wants it.
Yeah, it's DLC for a Wii U game, basically.
Yeah. Will Wii U owners have the ability to download and add onto their copy?
I doubt it.
That was pretty underwhelming. It's just like, which is kind of what Nintendo does a lot, where they say, here's some crap you don't want, but we're going to give to you. That was kind of a general theme of today's Direct.
Nobody asked for this, but you're getting it in.
Yeah.
Underwhelming. Good word. Yep.
Yeah. Although there was some other DLC that, underwhelming as it might be, I'll take since it's free.
You're talking about Mario Odyssey DLC. Yeah. It's because it's free. I should.
Yeah. They were like, we know you've been asking for Luigi in Mario Odyssey. Here he is. With the Hide the Balloon game, which, I mean, it seems like it's neat.
Called Balloon World. Why
Balloon World.
Yeah.
Yeah, why it's not called Hide the Balloon?
Or Balloon Fight or something. They could have typed it into Balloon Fight there,
They could have. Yeah, it's gonna be frustrating. It'll be cute for a second, and then you're gonna, we've talked about before, these online leaderboard things. There's gonna be people out there doing this genius shit. Oh, how am I supposed to get that in 30 seconds? Or how did they even get that far? Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work exactly. It seems like they give you 30 seconds to hide a balloon somewhere in a level. and then you can go through and try to find them.
I have to say, I love how Nintendo described this. Objective-based speedrunning.
Yeah.
Only Nintendo could put that kind of spin on hide and seek with balloons.
I guess you could say the little races inside Mario Odyssey are objective-based speedruns.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they are.
Yeah. Well, they want to be a player in the competitive online game.
They're really
scene.
pushing it. Yeah. This is a legitimate competitive gaming experience.
As long as nobody actually shows what they've done to anybody else, like on YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah.
Anything.
You can talk about it, just don't show photos or videos.
Yeah.
Unless you want a content strike.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll take it. It's free. It's cool, I guess. I expect, and there's also some outfits, I guess, that are tied into that DLC as well. There's going to be a Super Mario Sunshine outfit, which everybody wants. Who doesn't want more outfits for Mario?
And filters, of course. So you can take
and photo filters, yeah. So you can post those on your Facebook and Twitter.
I kind of take this as, for me personally, a reason to ever turn Mario Odyssey on again. So this might actually make me put the cartridge in and turn it on. I don't know.
Try it out so you can complain about it later.
Yeah, so I can complain about it later on a podcast with my friends.
I just recently, my daughter and I were playing through Odyssey together, and we just completed it the other day. And like I've found some like moon stuff, like little mini games or like little 2D levels that I didn't find on my playthrough, but we found when we were playing through. So I went back and played like a little bit. It's still, I mean, it's an okay game to me. It's not horrible, but I don't feel compelled to keep loading it up.
No.
But for somebody who I don't know. I was gonna say for somebody who just got it, maybe this is interesting. But then I'm like, well, I guess everybody kind of just got it.
Yeah,
we're at its welcome quick enough. I probably played the Animal Crossing mobile game longer than I played Mario Odyssey.
I think we all did. Yeah.
I didn't.
To say.
I put not very many hours into either, to be quite honest.
That's true.
But, I don't know, man. It was a very pretty Mario game, and it looked like it was going to be everything we wanted, and it was all right.
Yeah. I think it's fine. There's definitely people who are into the whole jumping mechanics of it, and that's extended its life a little bit. If people like, oh, what can I do? Where can I get? How fast can I get? So I know people are speed running it. I saw there was an article.
Yeah, and I've already got
speed runs.
I've gotten to a few of those, a couple of those hard to reach places just for fun, where there's a little chest buried in off somewhere with some coins in it or something not terribly exciting.
Yeah.
Or a moon sometimes, but usually not even a moon, depending on how buried you get. But yeah, the worlds are very, and see, that's why the DLC thing kind of seemed like a neat idea, the balloon thing. I mean, but it's an interesting idea because that world is pretty traversable, right? There's a lot you can do in it. There's a lot of creative places I could imagine where you could hide a balloon, and it would take someone a while to figure out how to get where you got.
But the other caveat, I think they said you only have 30 seconds to do it.
Yeah.
So that also makes me think, like, is there going to be the same starting point for everybody then? And you're just going to be like, you're leaving from this one point and you've got to see how far you can get away from the start in 30 seconds?
I'd imagine the starting point would be wherever Luigi is at. I figure he will be in a fixed point in every world.
It reminds me of like the Koopa races and the other little mini games in there. Like it's something that could have been there from the beginning. But whatever, I'll take it. It's not the Chibi Robo on fire or nothing. But,
no.
It's something for free. What else did we get?
Let's see. We got a better look at Kirby Star Allies. I don't think anybody here is particularly interested in that. I have to say, it looks kind of neat. It looks better than I thought it was going to look.
Yeah. Agreed. but I'm still not particularly interested. But it does look better than I expected.
Yeah.
The new abilities are kind of cool.
It's a Kirby game.
Yeah,
there's like a painting ability or
artist
masterpiece
ability.
Yeah, something like that.
It's kind of cool.
I mean, Kirby's Kirby.
Let's
Still waiting
see,
for Epic Yarn.
It's true. We might get that. Never know.
Yeah. Wii Virtual
Yoshi
Console.
wasn't Yarn. Yeah.
We got it on Wii U actually, so
You never know. Hopefully Nintendo is not listening and they go port that. I mean, please don't.
Stranger things have happened.
That is true. Very true.
It'll find an audience.
I say it's the best Kirby game. I would totally double dip on Epic Yarn on Switch.
I missed it, and I would buy it if they released a nice polish HD version. I would pick it up.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
It's another one of those you can't really die in it kind of games where you just lose jewels, I think, or it's basically the equivalent of losing coins in Mario Odyssey. It was fun.
Prince Fluff.
Yeah.
I think that was his name. Yep.
He's got his own hat and Street Pass. So
that's true.
So maybe he'll be back.
That's right. Maybe we'll get Amiibo. Yarn Kirby Amiibo.
That's one thing we did not get in the Direct.
That is true.
We did not get any Amiibo announcements.
Dude, I'm convinced once it's on a cereal box, it's jumped the shark. They're done.
Yeah. But then again, I don't know. There's one game in particular I can think of that they might put out Amiibo for that's coming out. But they could even retroactively add it to some others that were being ported.
That's true.
Let's get on to the port march.
That's right. The next game was Hyrule Warriors Definitive Version. I don't know why it has to be definitive version and not edition or.
Well, they're now releasing it for the third time.
Yep.
And this is basically like what I expect Smash to be, where they're taking the 3DS version and the Wii U version and combining all the stuff, which they didn't mention, but I'd assume that means Linkle's back.
I said 29.
Sure, Linkle's back.
Yeah. They are adding.
And there's new Breath of the Wild. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
you were getting there.
Yeah, I was going there. Yeah, Breath of the Wild costumes.
So that's for somebody who skipped it on both the other systems. This is probably cool. They can kind of roll into some of the Zelda hype that's going from Breath of the Wild. But it seems like it's an odd move to me that they put out a Fire Emblem Warriors game.
Yeah, this seems a little too soon to me.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not till spring, but still. Fire Emblem Warriors has DLC coming out, through February or no, maybe it's later than that. So, I don't know. I'll probably pass on it as I did the previous 2 times.
Yeah, I remember I played it in a demo station and it seemed like a fun enough game. And I know there's people out there who really dig it. It just never really appealed to me, but it's cool. It's one that I didn't expect coming, like for some reason. Whenever the billion times we've talked about ports, and there's always been obvious ones that we've talked about, that was one that just I never thought of. But it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, especially with how popular Breath of the Wild was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And adding the little costumes will make it better. Who knows? Maybe they'll rake you over the coals for some more DLC.
Of course they will.
Throw a Bokoblin in there. Guardians or something. Play as a Guardian. Now that's the stuff.
Or play as the champions so they can hit you up for 4.
Yeah. And you could use your amiibo.
No, they'll release all of the existing DLC as a Switch Selects at some point. I don't know. I don't think we need more DLC.
Well, they did have amiibo support in the original one, right? Like there was stuff you could do with amiibo, I think, in Hyrule Warriors, so it'll probably support those too. I guess Mario Kart 8 does.
It supported all of the Link amiibo, if I'm thinking.
Right. I don't remember what they did, but they did something.
Yeah, I totally lost track of what game you were talking about.
We're talking about Hyrule Warriors.
No, I know.
Yeah, I don't remember what they did, but they've been kind of playing down Amiibo. You never really heard much about Amiibo when they were talking about when Mario Kart 8 came out.
That's true. Maybe they are trying.
Of course, you couldn't get any of the Amiibo that were compatible with it anymore. By the time it came out, like Pac-Man and, well, I guess Mega Man might still be on the shelf somewhere. Some of them, but you're definitely not getting Captain Falcon anymore.
Nope.
Or Olimar. But yeah, all right, that's good enough. I'll take it. We knew what this year was going to be.
At least the first half of the year.
Yeah.
So the next game, though, is definitely a new game, Mario Tennis Aces. And I have to say it looks like one of probably the most unpolished games that we saw today, except for maybe the last game.
What? The last Mario Tennis was supposed to be pretty terrible, too, wasn't it? It came out on Wii U.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised because the last Mario Tennis game, which was pretty much universally panned and hated, was only 2.5 years ago. So it hasn't even been that long between the series. So somebody at Nintendo must really think that Mario Tennis is the thing. But people who are fans of the older Mario Tennis games, I think, are excited for this one, and the fact that it's got a story mode in it.
That's true.
And some sort of weird shot mechanic to add to it. But yeah, it really looked really bare bones. I've heard other people say it looked amazing, but to me it looked very, I don't know how fancy you can make a tennis court look.
Well, as you mentioned, the new shot mechanic, it's like they play it up, and it's like you'll have to learn, how to take the correct shot for each situation, but then they never explain it at all, or even show it in action, other than Wario's racket getting broken.
It'll get its own hour or two at E3 during the Treehouse presentation.
I'm sure, or only an hour or two, probably get its own day.
Yeah. I could see. I'm already picturing the stupid amiibo with a tennis racket. But somebody was actually, that would make more sense. They tend to do that with the sports series. But somebody was saying, like, in the Wii U one, which they could have very easily just ported the Wii U one. But they were saying in the Wii U one, they didn't even have like unique outfits, and in this one, like, they were excited.
It's like in Mario Kart, in the Wii U Mario Kart, they didn't even have battle mode tracks. So maybe they just purposely held back. Yeah.
This said classic tennis attire or something like that.
Yeah.
And if you notice, they were all wearing. You could see their hair, which is the first time I've seen Waluigi's hair, or probably Wario's hair.
And the shorts.
I guess I kind of assumed they were both bald.
Yeah, they're not.
Balding.
But
it's hard to say. They've always got those hats on. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like I kind of would much rather have a golf game.
Definitely.
Like it's been a while since we've had Mario Golf on 3DS. But I'm sure it's probably coming too one of these days. It's just that's one I would not have, if you had asked me to make predictions any E3 or any Direct, I would never say Mario Tennis.
No. In fact, all those
time for Mario Tennis.
The sports games that we were thinking of, or at least I was thinking of, and I've been talking about recently, is of course Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we'd even had a discussion about like Wii Sports coming to Switch, but nowhere did we ever say Mario Tennis.
When you've got a year with Breath of the Wild and Odyssey, you think, well, how are they going to follow that up? Mario Tennis does not often come to mind.
No.
And yet here we are.
Yeah, I guess they blew their wad a little early, didn't they?
I mean, they kind of had to, though. They had to go hard for 2017 because they realized from the Wii U's failure, like, we got to lay it out and make it good the first year, and they did. So, but this whole Direct felt to me like a Wii U Direct, like when you're waiting like forever for games for the Wii U.
Yeah.
And they're like, here's a tennis game.
Yeah, it was
That, well,
it was such a big deal on the Wii U. Any game that come out, everybody's like, there's a new game.
well, the tennis game on the Wii U was that was one where I remember when that got announced because we were waiting for like, oh, what are they going to pull out for the holiday? Like we were all expecting there's going to be they got to do a direct with a huge holiday hit, and they were like Mario Tennis comes out like in October or November. It's just like that's their game, like. So I don't know. At least they rolled this one out early, so it can be forgotten about early. But it does feel like an end of life title.
Yep. Have either of you played Mario Tennis? The previous version?
Not.
I played it on the
Wii U
Virtual
one.
Boy.
I didn't play did you play the 3DS one?
I played it on the 64. The last one I played, I think.
Did that have a story mode?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you're in for a treat. I think the more painful part is that this is going to be $60.
Yes.
When it comes out, like no matter what, it's going to be $60, and they're going to be scratching their heads as to why it didn't sell very well.
Yep. People don't like tennis.
People must not like tennis. We're going to throw it back. Maybe it's too soon after the Sports Superstar game that came out on 3DS.
You can still find those cards everywhere.
Had golf in it. That's probably why we didn't get golf.
That's a good point, I guess.
It's too much too soon. But yeah, that was, and really that was the only, if I remember, that's the only Nintendo first party title that got announced in this entire Direct.
Yeah.
And you can tell how enthusiastic we are on this one. So
this was kind of this should have been like the big selling point. This should have been, the Mario Odyssey that we were waiting for, but no.
Well, there's at least one more crappy Direct coming, I would think, before E3, where they tell us all the disappointing titles that they don't want to put in their E3. So hopefully they got something, but I'm just kind of surprised that they didn't lay out a year like they did last year, where they're just like, all this crap is coming this year.
I think they needed to, especially towards the end of the year, and it's just like, great, we finally got Switch in stock. We've had a good holiday season, and then it's just nothing. They needed to, they've hit one home run, but they need to, they need to continue.
They need to get a few more runs in. Yeah, it seems like they would, especially when they keep raising their predictions for how much the Switch is going to sell. Let's say you didn't buy a Switch at the holiday because you just weren't quite convinced yet. Well, what's this going to do? Like, is this going to put you over the top? Like,
totally.
It's kind of like somebody popped the balloon. So like, wow, it can't get any better than this. And they're like, oh, I was right. It can't get any better than that.
I mean, it feels a lot like we went back to the Wii U. I mean, not just with we're getting all the Wii U games in.
Right. It did feel like a Wii U Direct for sure.
Yeah, like all sorts of like for a long time on the Wii U, you get a Direct because they kept giving them to us, right? They kept every few months we get a Direct with a bunch of junk we just didn't care about, Yeah.
And there was no 3DS in this one either.
Interesting point.
Completely absent from. Not even a plug for Pokemon Crystal. No.
They did that on Twitter, though. So I guess they figure social media's got that covered.
I guess so. I mean, it is a mini Direct, but it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I expected so much more. But let's keep going. We've got totally awesome stuff still.
That's right.
We haven't talked about.
The next game we've got is Ys,
I believe. Ys 8.
Ys 8. Don't have to pardon me. I am Southern.
We'll get used to that.
I do have difficulty with weird words. So I did a little research on this game. It was last released on Nintendo console, on the DS and Wii Virtual Console, and it was like a combo pack of 1 and 2. So it's been a long time since this has been on the Nintendo console.
Yeah, it's a long-running title. It's kind of like an action RPG. the trailer they showed today almost looked a little bit like a Monster Hunter type game.
It did, with the camp especially.
But it's one of those ones that has its fans, especially on the PlayStation players and stuff. And this game, I guess, was previously on Vita and PS4.
It was on Vita in 16 and then PS4 in 17. So Switch 2018, yay.
That's another one we get within a few years. So it's one that I don't think anyone wanted, but there is an RPG fan base that Nintendo seems to be catering to pretty well in the last few years. So
I know there's people following this series that probably have a Switch, and I'm happy for them.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was for the whole Direct to me. Like, there was nothing that they put out other than maybe Mario Tennis that I was just like, this is awful. But yeah, it's like there's stuff, everything in it to me, it seemed like it wasn't for me, but I'm glad that it's coming out. And somebody will like it.
This game looked pretty on Switch, so I mean, can't complain.
Yeah, it looks good. It's, and like I said, people love RPGs, so keep the RPG kids happy. But it's a big pass for me.
The next two titles on our list here were sort of tie-in titles. Of course, the first one was SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. And we had a discussion earlier before the podcast as to who this appeals to.
And
teenage boys in Japan.
Or in the United States.
Yeah,
love anime. But yeah, it's an SNK Neo Geo style fighting game. It actually looks a lot like the Street Fighter 2 game graphically that they released last year.
Yeah, at first when I saw it, I thought, "Oh, we're getting an update to that game." Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, but it's only the female characters from SNK games. I don't know. It's kind of bizarre. Again, this is one that's not for me, but the Switch really is kind of turning out to be like the fighting fans console, though. You've got your Street Fighter, you got your Pokken Tournament, you got this SNK game.
I think I might drop for one of those fight sticks when the Street Fighter collection comes out. I might have to do that.
Yeah, it's like they're definitely doing good at getting every category kind of scratched off.
Filled out, yeah, exactly.
But this game feels like one of those games that you would never know existed until you just were searching online one day, and it's like, what's this? You know,
the one that you saw in the discount bin at Kmart for the Wii.
Yeah, it was like something you'd
$10 pass.
Yeah, you'd see it at Walmart on display, and it's like, what?
Yeah,
I didn't know this existed.
Yeah, pick it up. It's going to be rare. That'll be when you can sell down the road.
It might be. It might be some solid advice there. And we did get a game drop today, which is kind of a theme through the directs, as they always have something available now. And it was the Arcade Archives Neo Geo Art of Fighting 2, which features a crossover character. I'm sorry,
yeah, one of the characters from the SNK Heroines game was in this other one, so they were just kind of like oddly cross promoting it, like, and this comes out today, so pick it up. Which was kind of odd. There was actually another thing too that dropped today. There was a demo.
That's right, for Dragon Quest Builders. And I have to say, I'm a little excited about that. I've never played it. I've never played a proper Dragon Quest game, but I did play the demo from the Japanese eShop for Dragon Quest Heroes, and it made me interested enough to download it and try it. I haven't downloaded it yet. When I checked, it wasn't up. So
there is a Dragon Quest on 3DS that's on sale right now in the eShop.
That's true.
Check that out. But yeah, I've heard this has been out. This is another port that's been out for a while on other systems, and I've heard good things. I kind of get a little Minecraft feel from it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's Minecraft has created its own genre, kind of like there's a genre of battle royale games with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. It's the same kind of thing. Yeah, it's like there's Lego Worlds and there's Terraria. There was a whole bunch of stuff like that. I remember, like clones, basically.
So I think they announced that game a while back too, that Builders was coming.
Yeah,
that we just didn't hear anything else about it.
It's been it was announced quite some time ago. I don't know if it was around E3 or even before then.
Yeah.
No.
So that's another one that I won't be getting, but good for them.
Yep. I know Dragon Quest is a pretty popular series, so I'm sure there's
Yeah.
a lot of fans out there that are.
Maybe I'll check out the demo and I'll be won over. I haven't downloaded it yet.
Yeah, we need to do something to get both of you guys on the RPG train.
Yeah. Obviously, with these kind of directs, we're gonna have to.
Yep. If you're going to play your Switch, you're going to need something. But we did. I forgot to mention we did pass over one other DLC item, and that is that Donkey Kong is coming to Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's one of those games that I still every now and then I think maybe I should pick it up and just try it.
Yeah,
like I've heard nothing but good things. I feel like it's an unsung hero of the Switch.
I do hear a lot of positives, but I don't know. From every description I've read, it sounds like other games that I just couldn't get into. It weren't my style. So
yeah, it's been fairly well liked. But yeah, Donkey Kong, and I might be the only one that noticed this, but I think Donkey Kong sounded like Homer Simpson in the trailer
like something
for this. And has Donkey Kong had like vocalizations like that before? Like
I thought he had, but
I couldn't remember. I was like, are they just now giving him like a vocal personality? Or I don't know why it stuck out so weird to me, but it did.
It was very out of place. You hear Donkey Kong and then you hear "Aroo" or something like that. That's fine.
Buddy. Yeah.
Well, all those characters have evolved from generation to generation to some degree or other.
Yeah.
Did you like the new Donkey Kong? See, you're obviously the monkey fan here.
That's true.
It seemed unnatural. I don't know what to make of it yet. I have to go back and listen to it again. I also heard it on double speed because that's how I watched this whole.
That should have been really interesting.
Well, yes. And then, to kind of get back to one of my earlier points, like let's say that you're the biggest Mario+Rabbids fan, or let's say even more so you're not a Mario+Rabbids fan. Does this tip the scale? Like, it's kind of one of those, like so much of the direct today, it just felt kind of pointless. Like,
you would have to be.
What's your strategy here? Like,
you would have to be hardcore Donkey Kong for this to sway you. I mean, you would just have to be, living in your Donkey Kong pajamas or whatever, if those exist.
Yeah, with Donkey Kong Vans on.
Right. You can have Donkey Kong Vans and not be tempted by this, though.
That's true.
This excites nobody, pretty much. I think
that's kind of how I felt. It's like it's something nice. I'm assuming it's free. I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's something for those people. They're trying to make this Rabbids thing a thing. They've got DLC to try to extend that game out a little bit. All the stores that were running sales a couple weeks ago on it. So they're trying to keep it alive. I've even heard people say they want a sequel to the game. So, I guess it's for the people who have it and like it. They like it.
And we don't want to be too hard on it. I mean,
no.
I am happy for it, and I'm also happy that there's a new franchise on the Switch. So, I guess so
an Ubisoft franchise.
That's right.
But at least we know this isn't one that's going to get ported to PlayStation or something like this. Like, even if it is an Ubisoft game, it's going to stay exclusive to Switch. So
that's true.
Good for it. Let the kids learn about the tactical genre. Get into it. It's covering one more base.
I guess we should go
into more monkeydom.
I was going to say we should go ahead and jump right to more Donkey Kong here. Is I guess probably one of the bigger announcements that we all have predicted many times here on the podcast is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is indeed coming to the Switch. And it has a firm date of May 4th. So
yeah. It's $20 on Wii U right now as a Nintendo Select.
It'll be $20 on Switch too?
if you just add $40, you can have it while you poop. I'm sure. I kind of wonder if they'll. I'm sure it'll be 60. Like it seems like they should try to like be a little kind and put that out at 40 or something like that. But I'm sure that game didn't sell anywhere near what Mario Kart 8 did. And Mario Kart 8 they had no problem throwing out there at $60 again. So it's not even about trying to make their money back. They're just putting stuff out. But that one makes sense because that's a big title that people missed.
Have you guys played Tropical Freeze? Either of you? I have not.
I have not. I think Z, you have, haven't you?
I believe
He's a tropical freezer.
That's
I
right.
believe
I was curious. They mentioned 2-player co-op, and I was wondering if that was a new feature or if it was just something carried over.
I don't recall.
I don't either. I mean,
but the big news is we finally know what Rare's been working on this whole time.
Yeah. They've been working on Funky Kong this whole time.
Yeah, Funky Kong is a glorified easy mode, I guess. Funky Kong and his surfboard.
It screams assist mode for young children. So
yeah, but you can like go over spikes and did it say something like fly through areas that are too difficult, or I don't know what it is.
It's pretty much every movement you can do it unlimitedly. And if he was going through everything without any problems.
So and Funky Kong, the internet is already in love. If there's one thing we can take away from this Funky Kong, it's going to be a few more months of memes on Twitter.
That's right.
Because he's already sweeping the nation.
He gets the meme award for this direct.
Yeah, for a direct that didn't have many light spots, that was one. But I mean, that makes sense. It's a good solid release. We've thought that was going to happen forever. It would have been nice if they had maybe thrown Donkey Kong Country 1 in. Been like, Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2 or whatever.
It would have been nice. But I can't see him doing it really.
No, it would have. If it was a Donkey Kong HD collection or something like that, it seems like it would have been a little extra. Because, like I said, Donkey Kong Country's got its fans out there, and people will probably pick this one up. That's, like I said, I'm glad to see some of the stuff that was out for Wii U, that obviously didn't have the biggest install base. Get a second chance, and it's easy money for Nintendo.
That's true.
They don't have to pay that much for development and stuff. So it's nice that they get to do stuff like that. But for people who had the Wii U and already passed on it once, even at $20, have passed on it. It's another one that's not really exciting to me. But I guess somebody with a Switch that didn't have a Wii U is like, oh, I kind of wanted to play that when I saw it 3 or 4 years ago.
Well, you said $20. It has technically been free through Club Nintendo.
That's true, yeah.
Because I remember debating on it. Do I want to download this or do... I don't remember what I did download there at the end, but this was in a running.
Yeah,
I did like
even
Donkey
for
Kong
free.
I like Donkey Kong Country a lot on the Super NES. I played it a lot. I think I did multiple playthroughs of all of them. And I don't know. I've just never... Well, I think the difficulty level that I've heard about these games, the newer ones, has kind of been off-putting to me a little bit. And
yeah,
probably other things.
I had the Wii version, but it was on my 3DS when they ported that to 3DS, and it just didn't grab me. But I know that it is one that has a dedicated fan base.
Yeah, definitely.
There are Donkey Kong people out there who are probably going to be happy that they've got a chance at this. So it's a good, safe release. Like I said, we knew this one was coming. We just weren't sure when. So better to get it out of the way sooner than later, I guess.
That's true. This is a good time. If they're going to release it, this is a good time to do it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, they might as well just get it over with. Like I said, I would have much rather seen like, hey, Pikmin's coming.
Yeah, if it was Pikmin, I think we'd be singing a different song here. We'd be pretty hyped for it.
It's like there just wasn't anything exciting today. Not really. I guess there was one that the internet seems to be more excited about than others. But we'll keep chugging along. I don't know where that's at in the list.
We've got I'll go over a couple of the smaller titles that were released today. The game that actually first brought up the leak for this direct, which is VIII. I guess I'd never really seen a trailer for it before.
Yeah.
Not really excited. But this is the game that uses HD Rumble. It was mentioned specifically. So again, Iwata delivers. Or not Iwata, excuse me.
Yeah, they're
President Kimishima delivers.
Kimishima delivers. We're gonna use that HD Rumble. Yeah, it's nice to see. I think we'll see more and more developers start using stuff like that. I'm just glad that I finally know how to pronounce it. Since we know it's Fae, even though I still think there's going to be some confusion between people talking about Fire Emblem and Fae.
Yep. And since Eric isn't here, I'll say he also wanted to know if it was pronounced as iron, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. F-E, get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean it looked to me almost like an eShop game. Like
it definitely does.
Which I think it is an indie game that's just being kind of published by EA. But it's a pretty enough looking game. It didn't stand out to me as being like an amazing thing that I'm lining up for. But apparently anything you put on the Switch sells, so somebody's going to buy it.
That's right. And it's got EA to promote it too, so that helps.
Yeah.
And it rolls right into our... That's right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. It looks like an eShop game, but I have a feeling it won't have an eShop price.
Right.
The next game on our list is Celeste, which featured assist mode, which is kind of neat for a eShop looking game. I'm glad to see that branches out.
Yeah, that was a interesting title to me because it's definitely the worst looking game. I mean, it's a retro styled, but it almost didn't even look 8-bit. Like
no,
like it looked like they colorized a Game Boy game. But it has that Nintendo flavor that a lot of eShop games do. It looked to me like it was going to be difficult, but as you said, there is an assist mode, so you can be a baby about it if you want.
Here's assist mode to help players, and then it goes right in. It's like, or you can use this mode, which is extremely difficult, and it's like,
yeah,
like okay.
Or you can use the murder mode where you're gonna die every 3 seconds. Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, it's a platformer. It was an odd one to me because it was all the games that they kind of were showing today seemed like they were pretty major studios. I didn't see who Celeste, but it looked like just a run of the mill Nindy.
Yeah, very Nindy feel.
That they just kind of snuck in there. So,
and it comes out pretty soon. It comes out on the 25th. Yeah.
So we'll have a chance to see it for a few days before it gets forgotten about in the eShop.
That's right, before it's lost in the pile.
Who knows? It could be an amazing title. We'll see. I'd imagine it's going to get decent reviews because people love that retro style stuff.
Definitely.
But to me, meh.
Or
Fae. Yeah. And that was right after the Fae too, wasn't it? That they showed that.
Yeah, I almost thought at first they were like connected somehow, but it's like, no, I guess not.
Play Celeste on your Game Boy Advance and hook it up to your Switch too. Yeah.
If they'd have said that, I was like, oh yeah.
Looking for that link cable.
Yeah, I could pick up that link cable. All right.
It's yeah. Are we into heavy hitters now?
Yeah, we've got 2 heavy hitters to round us out. First one is, of course, Payday 2. We're getting a special character. I didn't know with the phrasing of that if it was just a special character for the Switch version or if it was going to be released to other versions of the game. I don't know. Of course, the
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed like it said it was from the Japanese version of the game or something.
it was a Japanese style character or something. I don't.
Yeah, the game kind of reminds me a little bit of Watch Dogs, in that there's hacking elements in it, I guess, apparently. Although maybe not as in your face as Watch Dogs was, but it looked like it was a maybe semi-open world game. They've announced that one a while back, but it's coming out pretty soon too.
February 27th.
Yeah, so
And
that's one of those ones that's been out for a while, I think, on other systems.
That's what I was going to say. It's been out since August of 2013. So
Yeah.
that's yeah.
Better late than never.
This again feels very Wii U like.
Yeah. Although something like that never came to the Wii U. We were happy to get Watch Dogs 1. So yeah, but I think some of these games, which I don't remember Payday 2 really taking the world by storm. I don't know that I heard about it ever before, being a Nintendo fan who doesn't really live outside of the Nintendo world. But maybe somebody will double dip. I feel like a lot of these are for double dippers to be like, oh, hey, that was kind of a cool game. I'd like to play that portable. And for Nintendo fans to play for the first time. Yeah. Till you see the $60 price tag that it'll inevitably have.
Yeah, that's unfortunately. And I should mention that I caught this little tidbit as I rewatched the Direct. It says online play on the Switch only. So, but I don't imagine there'd be too many other people online playing from 2000.
Yeah, I think they're saying that it's just not going to have crossplay, which, like I said, I wouldn't expect Payday 2 to have crossplay. No. For as old as it is.
I'm happy
unless
that
somebody
it has
wanted to fire it
play.
up. Yeah. Unless somebody wanted to fire it up and kill some noobs. somebody's out there probably still playing it, or would play it again if
on Steam. Yeah, there's I'm sure there's still people out there. There seems like there's an audience for everything.
Yeah. Do you remember Payday 2 being a huge hit? Like, it seems like
not particularly
ordinary game to me,
but it's one that's been around. Yeah, exactly. But it's a big name multi-plat. So all right, sure. But I think I got it in a humble bundle for a $1 or something, or it might have been free even.
It's one of
now
those
you can
games
double dip for $60.
That's right. You can have it again. It's one of those games I remember. Just like you see advertisements for it, on TV or on the back of a gaming magazine or something.
Right.
Nothing beyond that, really.
Or on a gaming website, probably.
Gaming website, more likely. Oh. Yeah, I was going real old. It's 2013, so I went a little
What did you kickstart one of those gaming magazines?
No.
Yeah. On the back of your Game Informer.
Game Informer was what I was thinking of. Not that I have Game Informer or read it.
It might have been around back then.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, it seems the whole clown mask thing seems very dated.
Yeah, it definitely does.
It's very Dark Knight bank robbery. It's like they saw the bank robbery scene in the Dark Knight and they were like, let's make a game with bank robbers and clown masks. But yeah, I'm happy. It's one more thing that's out there, destined for the bargain bin.
Yep.
Glad they put it into a Direct so it could really get the eyes on it that it needed.
Yes. I have seen it come up on social media a few times, so
I know they mentioned it before, and people are like, "Ooh, Payday 2. That's something I've heard of."
Exactly. That's the only reason Nintendo wanted it.
Yeah. I mean, it's something. For the non, for the Nintendo fans that haven't played anything other than Nintendo games, we're slowly being drip fed some games from other genres that might be a little more grown-uppy. So if you want to play something else, there's something else for you.
We'll get into that more with our next game here, which is Dark Souls Remastered. And that's where we've obviously seen the reference from the Chibi Robo on fire.
Yeah.
I know everybody thought, I bet there's a Dark Souls game in this new Direct when they saw that.
I think Dark Souls is one of those ones that's been rumored by a few people. I think it was even in some of our fake news predictions. People have been saying Dark Souls was coming. Again, years old.
Well, there was an outcry for this game on the Wii U, if I remember correctly. A lot of people, I think there was even an online petition started. But in looking that up, I've seen this great quote from the producer of Dark Souls 2, and this was his quote regarding as to why it's not on the Wii U. I think the audience for the Wii U is a lot different from the audience for the Dark Souls. And then he laughs.
Yeah.
So,
well, also the audience for the Wii U was 1 million people, and it's one of those ones that shows that there is some confidence in the Switch that things like this are coming. And it's reminiscent to me of like how LA Noire was, where they're doing a remaster for all the other systems, so they're like, well, we can just tack this one in there too. I have no doubt this will be I don't know. It was like, I think it was originally a PS3 and an Xbox 360 game. So technically, I mean, from a hardware perspective, the Switch should be able to handle it okay. Although I'm still waiting to hear all the bad things about the performance of it.
Yeah, how much for remaster is it going to be, kind of thing? Yeah.
Yeah. It'll probably be the original. Maybe a little bit smoother. But it's one people are excited. But it's the whole claim to fame, I think, on Dark Souls is that it's just tough as hell. It's like a very difficult game that's in the style of these newer looking games, but it's just difficult. So it'll be good for short bursts.
Until you rage quit.
Yeah. And since it's on Switch, you'll have a reason not to throw the controller since it's also the console.
That is a really good point.
It's hard to rage quit on Switch. Yeah, get a Pro Controller.
Buy a Pro Controller for this. Yeah. Maybe you want to get a really cheap Pro Controller, a wired version, so you can throw it.
I've thought about picking one of those up because I often will just leave my Pro Controller plugged in.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why use the battery up? I'll just leave it plugged in. So I could probably get away with one of those wired ones. I wonder how they do. But yeah, Dark Souls is that was probably the best game announcement out of the entire Direct, and again, maybe because it's a more mature game, they decided to go with more of a teaser, kind of like how they did with Doom, where you don't see any kind of blood or gore or anything like that. It's just kind of, don't want to scare the kiddies.
That's a really good point.
Go online and find all the where they want.
Yeah, there's plenty of footage out there. But that's one of those prestige titles, as I call them, like your Doom and your Skyrim, where you're just like, this is on our system now. This has officially been released on a Nintendo console. So I'm glad to see that. That seems to be the one that the internet is the most happy about having on there, even if it is yet again an older game being ported over. But that was the theme of the Direct, was everything old is new again.
Ported over, yeah. For the new year, old games.
Yeah, like other than Faye, I guess, and Celeste and Mario Tennis Aces.
Oh, and don't forget SNK Heroines.
And SNK, yeah. But other than that, everything was pretty much a port. So, bring on the ports, I guess. I don't mind. I just would have liked some better ports.
Yeah,
maybe. I still want that GTA. I have a feeling it is coming.
Yeah,
it's got to be coming, or Red Dead Redemption. I'll take, even though that's old too.
Yeah.
We might get Red Dead 2, maybe. I don't know. Or a 2-pack. That'd be great too. But now I almost instantly want another direct. Like
This, yeah, you were talking about
Yeah.
we'll probably get another direct before we hit E3, and it's like I'm already dreading it because this has been such a mess, and Nintendo loves it. So yeah, they're gonna
it's
milk it.
just I think we were talking about last time, like, there hadn't been a direct in a while. All the stuff came out for Christmas, so we're like, well, what do we have to look forward to this year? And I feel like they didn't really deliver
No.
as far as what we have to look forward to. They could have like a Metroid teaser. We still haven't seen any footage from that. Something, some kind of. There was no showstopper. Like almost every direct has something that's definitely like a best of show kind of thing where you're just like, wow, that was badass. Like right at the end where they drop something on you.
Well, they did. They dropped Dark Souls.
That's
Yeah,
really
I mean,
that's the big headliner, yeah.
Yeah.
Which
But when they're
doesn't
like,
do anything for us, but
it's
No.
cool. I mean, good for it. I'll probably pass on that as well.
Yep.
Just because I don't want to be frustrated by its difficulty, but it's a much beloved game and it's in that higher echelon of games that's it's a major title. So
Maybe we'll
good
get
on it.
Maybe we'll get an assist mode.
Yeah. Invincibility mode.
Everything else had it.
Yeah, which I don't mind that. That's I don't mind having a little bit of that. Z, you've played plenty of Tropical Freeze, right?
I played enough to get tired of it.
Did that have a co-op mode in the original? Or do you know? Not sure. If it did, you didn't play. Or actually, you know what? It did, now that I think of it, because I remember when they did the original trailer, they were showing that you could like have Diddy Kong.
Yeah, but I don't know if that
like
was co-op or if that was just like the game mechanic.
If it was like Tails.
Well, yeah. The original Donkey Kong countries, they followed along behind you, and you could switch between them.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But you could also play co-op that way, and one person was in charge at once, or at a given time.
So maybe it is just Funky Kong.
I don't know.
That's the new one for us, because Cranky Kong was the last big one. I remember that was one of the Game Awards, wasn't it? Where they were like, "Oh, what's Nintendo going to reveal?"
They had the shadow figure of him.
Yeah.
Okay. There was a 2-player mode.
Okay.
In Tropical Freeze.
So Funky Kong is the only.
So Funky Kong's the new thing. Which, it is what it is. It's cool. I don't know. What does everyone think? How would you rate this one out of 10 as a direct? It's a difficult one to score.
Ooh, out of 10? I was just going to go, is this a success or failure? Just say yes or no. Out of 10?
I mean, and does it get a different rating if you've been a Nintendo fan and had other systems? Does it get a different score if you owned a Wii U or if you didn't?
Because this was definitely a Wii U Direct.
Yeah. Kind of.
I'm going to go pretty low here and say 4 out of 10.
Yeah. That's what it kind of feels like. I might give it a 5. It's like it, but I feel like I don't know, even if you didn't own a Nintendo product before, I feel like there's a lot of single games in this that appeal to some people.
Yeah.
Like seems like everything in here seems like there's somebody out there who will be like, oh, that's kind of cool. I might pick that up. But there's not a lot of, holy crap, I'm definitely getting this.
Oh, I gotta have it. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
There's not that all-encompassing title that's going to appeal to a huge swath of the Nintendo fan base.
Except for Tweewee, which The World Ends With You.
Yeah.
There was some general hype over that and Dark Souls. I feel like those were the two winners.
The World Ends With You is the only reason I give it a 4. Otherwise, I'd probably been a 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mario Ace isn't getting any love today.
No, I'm sorry.
It's yeah, it felt like a very very Wii U thing, and I think they need. Hopefully, they do a better job. Maybe they'll do an I'm sorry direct next month.
Please
Let's see.
understand.
Yeah, here's some stuff that people might want to play. No, I just feel like it's a disappointing way to kick off the year. And it's a disappointing from a business perspective I mean, they've got 2 more months now before their big investor meeting. They're going to have to explain why this was the direct they rolled out.
I wonder how much their stock will fall down,
Yeah, it's like they should be like, hey, there's some huge stuff coming out this year, like. And it seemed like last year they kind of did it well, where they laid out the whole year, and then at E3 they just kind of focused in on some of those titles.
Yeah.
And unless maybe they've got a huge second half of the year planned. I'm sure they've got to have something amazing they're going to pull out for Christmas and stuff this year. But like right now, it seems like it feels like a gaming drought, even though it's not. But it'll be filled in with plenty of little indies and stuff like that too along the way. So I guess I can have faith in that, but I don't think anybody got the direct they wanted today.
If they really want to make it up to me personally, next month or maybe in March, they can have a nice Fire Emblem Direct, and all will be forgiven, Nintendo.
Has another Fire Emblem been announced, or is this all just rumor at this point?
I believe it has been announced that they're working on one, but it's just very basic.
Because I know I hear Fire Emblem whispered quite a bit, and I couldn't remember if that was actually a confirmed thing, or if it's just people expecting it.
I think it's confirmed.
So, yeah, they'll show it. That'll probably be an E3 thing. They're gonna make that one of their banner titles now. Fire Emblem has risen to that level where they can make that one of their, maybe not their main thing, but one of their things. If Fire Emblem becomes the main focus of E3, we'll know we're in trouble. But what do they have? What else? They've already rolled out a Zelda and a Mario. Smash doesn't seem like. I mean, Smash. I think we would feel almost the same as we feel about Tropical Freeze. Like, we'd be happy. I don't know. Would you guys double dip on a Smash?
It'd be a hard sale.
Yeah.
The same way I doubled it. You didn't double dip on Mario Kart, right, Jason? You refused.
No.
See, for me, Mario Kart and Smash are like the social family staples.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think I
pretty much am required to buy them. Yeah. Even though I hate the fact that I'm going to, but I will. Especially if they do it like they do with Hyrule Warriors, where they do a definitive edition, which I think would make a lot of sense, where they just take all the stages from the 3DS and from the Wii U and all the modes and stuff and mash them together into a definitive Smash 4. If they brought the Smash modes from Smash 3DS. Run, yeah. Well, yeah, and the levels, like the Pac-Man level on 3DS, and like I guess the Miiverse level. Hopefully the Miiverse level would still be there. It's still on the Wii U. It's just empty.
They could use the post on the last day.
Oh, that would have been something else. Yeah, just fill it with penises. That would be awesome. Yeah.
If they could use the thank you Miiverse post, seriously though.
Speaking of which, say what?
The thank you Miiverse that everybody could submit to, and they had the little.
Oh yeah.
They could use that.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Bring a tear to your eye.
They could just cherry pick Splatoon 2 ones.
Yeah.
Then it'd all be about furries and.
And trans squids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Save Callie.
Yeah, I think that one's coming this year. I still think that's going to be like an October, November maybe this year.
I think maybe part of the reason they've been so tight-lipped on it and have been saving it as opposed to dropping it earlier is because they are doing. I think they really want to polish it up. They probably are going to do a definitive. But then why would they pass on the opportunity to sell still more DLC? So I'm sure they will.
Right. Well,
And amiibos to go with it.
That's the thing with the amiibo. With all the amiibo, I mean, you've got what you've got on the shelves now, but would they have to reissue some of those amiibo to? Everyone kind of knows amiibo are worthless in Smash anyway.
I think they would have to, they'd have to have the functions, all in game already.
Well, the amiibo functions were nothing. You just
they were
trade an extra.
Yeah.
Although they could easily do that, where they just have the amiibo functionality in there, where you can just pick a character as a whatever trainable sparring partner.
Yep.
That was from the time when they were like, we know we're going to make figures, we just don't know what they're going to do, and they're still kind of in that same spot with amiibo. But that did surprise me that there was no amiibo today. But I guess what are you going to do an amiibo for?
Well,
Tropical Freeze?
Yeah, there wasn't anything big enough to warrant an amiibo.
Mario Tennis, amiibo cards. But the whole direct was 15 minutes, so start to finish. Yeah.
14 something, yeah.
They kept it low, but I just I don't know. It doesn't bring a lot of confidence for me for the coming year so far. I guess I can believe that Nintendo is going to bring something in the second half, but I feel like when Kimishima told us we better enjoy the games we got, he meant it, because we're not going to have a lot to enjoy until the big holiday season, or at least after summer. So we knew it wasn't going to be 2017, and boy, it sure isn't.
This 2017 was the year of the Switch, and 2018 is the year of the Wii U port. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah.
So we had
or other ports.
So
2017 had its share. Sorry, go ahead.
But it still had Breath of the Wild and Odyssey. So
that was a Wii U port.
Well,
don't forget.
Technically,
that's right.
Launch title port. Yeah.
Whatever you call that, right? They did it with Twilight Princess. They've done it with. Is that the only other one? No, I know they did it with something else. What else did they do it with? Haven't they launched another one between two consoles like that? Maybe I'm crazy.
I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to end up being the one this time, where it's going to be the last game for the Switch and the first one for the Switch 2. The Switch U.
Well, we've already got Switch U coming, so might as well just call it then.
It is the Switch U. Yeah, I like the light switch. I think I'm waiting for the light switch.
The light switch.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. Let us know what you guys think out there.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. So, if you want to find us, you can find us here on YouTube where we record. Of course, you can find us on Twitter. We're always glad to answer questions and hear fan comments. And then if you want to listen to us, you can hear us on Stitcher and iTunes. So, and let us know, do you like us doing these directs? These mini podcasts for each direct?
I don't know how many this is anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite pretty long.
When is it ever? But yeah, this is our first special edition. So
that's right. So if you want to see more, hit us up. All right. So thanks for watching tonight, and we'll catch you next week for our regular scheduled podcasting.
Have a good night, everybody.
Party on.